Hi, do you dread circle times or the large group time in your classroom? Is that one that you'd rather avoid than do? Hi, my name is Prerna Richards and I'm a behavior coach. So let's talk about circle time, because circle time tends to become a little bit stressful from what I've seen in my observations. And sometimes certain children demand so much attention during circle time that it becomes exhausting. And the teacher just ends up constantly correcting them, sit down, turn around, don't touch your friend, pay attention, look at me, and on the instructions go, right? If this sounds familiar to you, you might find this video helpful. So I'm going to talk about some specific traps that you should avoid. And once you know the traps and you can figure out how to replace them, it'll change your circle time, I promise. So are you ready to shift your mindset about circle time? The first thing is don't set yourself up for failure by asking a general question that everybody has to answer. So for example, you have 3s and 4s and 5s, and you ask an opening question on Monday, what did you do on the weekend? You've asked that question and you know what happens. It takes forever to go around the room, and then everybody wants to talk about everything they did. And quite often they all just end up saying, we went to Disneyland. How's that? Every weekend they're going to Disneyland? That was one of the teachers. She was sharing with me. She said, every Monday they tell me they've gone to Disneyland. Next time, take me with you. So don't ask a question that's going to take forever for 3 and 4s and 5s to answer you, because they can't. They need the spotlight. They're going to keep talking. So instead, it's a great question to ask. But instead, when you ask it, say, what did you do on the weekend? Turn around, face your friend. So then we can do a pair share. So you only have to share, turn, face a friend, and tell your friend, what did you do? And you can put a timer on. For the next 3 minutes, you're sharing with your friend. And when the timer goes off, we stop talking. So you set them up for, success. And also it teaches them time management and listening and sharing. So everybody has to share. And then have your name jar. I find the name jar strategy very helpful. So have a jar full of kids' names in it, and randomly throughout the day when you need something and you can't think who to ask, so it won't create chaos, you just put your hand in the name jar and you pull out a name. And whoever's name it is, so if, for example, it's Daniel. So if Daniel and Alex were sharing, they turned and faced each other. And because I pulled out Daniel's name, Daniel and Alex can share with the larger group, what did they do on the weekend? Once you start doing this, the kids know that this is how the circle time goes, and it's fair because you'll just pull out a name and different people will get to share different times. So that's strategy number 1. Don't set yourself up for failure or them because they can't sit still for that long. It's impossible. The second one is a huge one. Don't be on the stage. A circle time is not a time for you to have the spotlight. I'm so sorry to say that. Circle time is for everybody to be at the carpet and to be a uniting community. You have to change your mindset about it. It is not your time to drill and kill and repeat stuff that is getting so boring and they've lost interest, and you do the same thing every day. You do the weather, you do the calendar, you do the time, you do the moments, you do the letters, the shapes. It just goes on and on and on, and it's drill and kill, and you're doing it every single day because you want all the kids' eyes on you. It is not your time to do that. So don't fall for that trap. Instead, make it like a community. Make it where their voices are heard and they can contribute. So maybe somebody tells us how to do a stretching. Yoga and breathing are ways to keep their brain alert and listening, right? So do yoga stretching. And somebody can tell us, okay, we're going to stretch our arms. That's how it, deep breath, right? So different people can be contributing for different things in your circle. It is not a stage on the stage time. Don't fall for that trap. It is a time to connect. It's a community time. Tip number 3, using props to bring your books to life. And I'm not talking about, if you have Goldilocks and 3 bears and you have all the pieces of the Goldilocks and bears. That's not what I'm talking about. Puppets happen to be a very engaging way to make it fun and imaginative. So one of the teachers I was sharing this strategy with, and she says, Prerna, puppets is just not my jam. I just don't do puppets. And I said, okay, think about it. And then the next time I went to her classroom, she said, I figured out a way how to use puppets. And I said, okay, what did you do? She said she found an owl puppet and she just loved this owl puppet and she called him Mr. Hoot Hoot. And so when she's reading a storybook, Mr. Hoot Hoot is with her. And anytime she comes across a new vocabulary word, Mr. Hoot goes hoot hoot. And then the kids pay attention and they're alert. And then she can explain to them the new vocabulary word that they may not know. Genius, right? So engaging, so playful, so fun. But now she's getting the kids' attention because you just never know when Mr. Hoot Hoot is going to say something. So the kids are listening, right? It's a great one. With the storytelling also, I want to give you a tip. Don't have them sit in rows. So if you're having your kids sit in rows, somebody is going to be constantly saying, I can't see the book. This one's in my eyes. Don't fall for that trap. Have them sit in a circle. The circle feels more like a community and they can all look at you and you can look at them. There's direct eye contact happening with every single person. So sitting in rows is a trap. Don't do it. The last one is a big one. And it's again with the mindset shifting. Think of your circle as a ritual instead of a routine. Routine, when I hear the word routine, it just feels like I'm checking a box. Routine feels like I have to do. Routine feels like I'm told to do. With a ritual, think about the word ritual. When I think about the word ritual, it makes me feel like it's intentional, it's meaningful, there's a heart connection, and I'm doing it because I really want to connect. I really want to make this a joyful, loving experience. Then I think of it as a ritual. So think of your circle time as a ritual and not a routine. What components can you include in your circle that will make it feel like a ritual? You could do a greeting, not just the same greeting song that you sing every day. That'll become a routine. If you can change up the greeting, and again, ask the kids, how would you like to be greeted? Maybe you could have a greeter at the carpet. You could have a greeter at the door. Asking them, how would you like to be greeted today? Maybe it's a hug. Maybe it's a fish greet. Maybe it's an elbow bump. Whatever it is, it keeps it fresh. It keeps it engaging. So think of components that you can use in your circle time that can make it feel more connecting and heartfelt. And that could be your ritual. Maybe your ritual is that you start off with doing a little quick run around the circle with, do a quick high five with everybody. Or maybe your ritual becomes that you end the ritual with giving them a hug and asking them, telling them what is one quality that you love in them. I don't know. You think of your ritual, think of ways to connect with them. And I promise the stress from the circle will transform into joy. But you have to do something different to connect with them. If you keep doing what you're doing and the circle is stressing you out and it's becoming a bore, then you know it's not engaging their brain. If you liked and if you like this content, subscribe and share it with others. I would be so grateful for you to pass this message on to others who it could help. And let me know, leave me a comment. I read those comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you have any questions, also ask those. Maybe I could answer that in the next newsletter. Bye for now. Thanks for doing what you do. You're doing amazing work. Keep going, Brain Architect.